Terry, can you roll call, please? Okay, doing the roll call. Meeting to start order at 10:05, right? Oh, 10:05. Sorry, 10:05. Okay. All right, calling order. Honorable Herman Daniels. He's here. Naatsis'aan, chapter president, vice president, secretary treasurer, grazing. Oljato, chapter president.
Here.
Thank you. Vice president for Oljato. Secretary treasurer.
Here.
Here, okay. Grazing. Shonto, chapter president.
Here.
Thank you. Vice president.
Here.
Thank you. Secretary treasurer. Grazing. Here. Thank you. Chapter, Tsapikin chapter president. I am here. Tsapikin chapter vice president.
Present.
Thank you. Secretary treasurer.
Here.
Thank you. Grazing. Okay. That chair, total of 10. 10 present. 3 from Oljato, 3 from Shonto, 3 from Tsapikin, and 1 council delegate. Thank you, Mr. Secretary. 10 members present, constitutes quorum. Invocation. Thank you. Thank you. Please, okay. For the board, for the election of new NOST officers. A, so for the president. So I'm going to open the floor for nomination. Nominate Roland. You're going to say something very rare. Any other nominations?
Who was nominated but declined? Is it Robert?
No, Roland was nominated.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna nominate Robert Black.
Huh? Robert Black has respectfully declined the position and appreciates the nomination.
I'll nominate, thank you, Jen, for clarifying that. The nomination. Nominate, since the floor is still open, I'll nominate Ts'ah Dillard.
Yeah.
Second.
Why?
Okay, so we have Roland and Dillard for nomination.
Want to close the nomination? The second, let them close the nomination. So. Okay, there's two of them, two of us. She doesn't that on it. So how do you want to do this? We step out, I'll give the gavel to the vice president, secretary, the vice president.
Do we supposed, well, you guys step out or? Yeah, we can step out. Okay. Glad you gave us. So, can I talk from here then?
Yeah, you can
Okay.
take your off your laptop.
Okay,
That one should be.
okay. So can you hear me, Marcia? Or Carolyn, Thomasina?
Yes, sir. We can hear you.
All right. The two nominees are exiting the meeting room to stand outside till we're done. So all those in favor of selecting Roland Small Canyon. Or how should I do it? Should I say who you're voting for? That way? That way I don't have to ask.
Yeah, you could just keep it tally, like you just say who.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm comfortable with that. Doesn't matter to me.
Okay. Oh, well, I'll just do that. I'll ask each one of you to see who you're voting for. Okay.
Sounds good.
Priscilla Benali. Good. Okay. Final Manson. Manson.
Thanks.
Good. Marie, Marcia.
I'll vote for Dillard.
Hello, Thomasina, okay?
Yes, can you hear me? This is Tamansia.
Okay, nice to see you. Okay. Michelle, hey, Didi.
Ask the question again.
Who you want to be president? Dillard or Roland?
Dillard.
Okay. Brother, Mr. Brigade Willis.
I'll vote for, I'll vote for Roland.
Okay.
Roland Small Canyon.
Clarita, Michelle.
I'll vote for Mr. Curley, Philip Curley.
Okay. Okay. All right. I'll just say Roland for the numbers. Okay. Right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 for Dillard, and then 2 for Roland. So DC, the new president. Okay.
Excuse me, who's DC?
Dillard Curley is the president. He got 5 votes, and Roland Small Canyon got 2 votes. Leila?
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Okay. All right. Have the 2 gentlemen back here, and I'm gonna reiterate the votes that were done. We have 5 for Dillard Curley, and then we have 3 for Roland Small Canyon. So, Mr. Curley, you are now the NOST president. All right. I'll turn the floor over to him now.
I'll slide over here.
No, you stay right there.
Okay.
Hey, thank you. Yeah, I really appreciate your nomination. I fill this position. Do the best I can, best of my ability. So that's what I can promise you guys. Thank you. Yeah, and your confidence. Okay. Go ahead and move on to B, Vice President. Go ahead and open up the floor for nominations.
I nominate Roland Small Canyon.
Okay. Nomination by Marcia, second by Priscilla. Any other nominations?
I move to close nominations.
Motion to close nominations and second. 2 motions.
Second.
Roland,
Motion, second motion to close.
okay. Roland, second VP position.
Yes, sir, I can do the job. Thanks for nominating.
Okay. Being that we have only 1 nomination, put him in there. Right.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for that. Moving on to secretary. Open the motion, I'll the floor for nominations for secretary.
I motion to I nominate Thomasita Tracy.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
I nominate Twyla Madison for secretary treasurer.
Okay.
Okay.
Motion to close the nomination.
Okay.
Second.
Second. Motion by Roland, second by Marcia. Okay, we have 2 nominees. Thompson and Twyla. I guess we'll go ahead and move on for the vote process. So. I guess Thomasina or Twilight needs. And then Twilight, Thomasina, I'm gonna go ahead and put you in the waiting room, so. Stay on the line. Which one are you here? iPhone or?
Oh, I think she's the
Yeah, the iPhone, okay, I'll put her in there. All right, I will let you guys back in once we are done. Okay,
Who nominated Thomasina? She did?
Thomasina is Marcia,
Marsh, oh, okay.
and then.
This one, Thomasina,
Twilight.
okay.
Okay. I guess we'll go ahead and go for the nomination for Thomasina. How do we vote on that? We'll go ahead and vote for Thomasina to be secretary. All those in favor, raise your hand. 1, 2, 3. Okay. 4. We
Sure.
have
Sure, Thomasina.
Marcia, 3. 4. Okay. Thomasina is 4.
No, take my back.
Okay. So 3. Okay, 3 for Thomasina. Moving on over to Twilight. All those in favor, put your hand up. 1, 2, 3.
Marcia.
Marcia, you voting in favor or no?
Oh, that was for the first vote.
Okay. Narita and Willis, I haven't heard a vote from you guys, so. Right now it's 3.
I'll vote for Thomasina. Thomasina.
Thomasina.
Mr. Curley, I'll vote for Thomasina too.
Okay, so that Thomasina votes is 5 in favor for her, and Twilight 3. With that, we'll go ahead and move forward with Thomasina as the new NOST secretary. Okay. Go ahead. The vote has been called for the new secretary. Vote is currently down to Thomasina. It's 5 in favor, Twilight 3. With that, we will go ahead and. Okay, with that, Thomasina has voted 5 in favor, Twilight 3. With that, we'll go ahead and move forward with Miss Twilight Thomasina as her new NOST secretary. Okay, congratulations. Moving on, we'll go ahead and I guess motion to accept the officers. Dillard as president, Roland as vice president, and Thomasina as secretary. My motion.
Motion to accept the officers.
Mark, thank you. Second. Twilight. Alrighty. With that, move on to call for the vote. All those in favor to accept the officers, raise your hand. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. Marcia, how do you?
I vote in favor.
Thank you. Thomasina, how do you vote?
Say that again.
I'm sorry, what was that?
What was your question?
To accept the officers currently right now, we're in the vote process, so just wanted to know if you vote in favor.
Yes, I am.
Okay. Loretta. And Willis.
In favor.
Yeah, 8 in favor. Any opposed? Abstain. We have 1.
One abstain.
Yes. Oh, shoot, correction, that's gonna be 9 in favor, 0 opposed. 1 abstain.
Okay.
Okay, moving on. Review and adopt the agenda.
A motion.
Motion by Robert.
Second,
Oh. Second by Marcia. Okay. I'll go ahead and I guess we'll have the resolution or the agenda read into the record. So Ms. Thomas, can you go ahead and read the rest, the agenda to the record? You're on mute if you're talking. I think she's busy at the moment. Mr. VP, can you read them?
Okay. Yeah, Shonto. Naatsis'aan chapter Oljato. Naatsis'aan, I don't think they're here. Shonto, community governance, and the officials can't attend other Shabbat on both Herman Daniels. The NOST chapter, NOST Regional Council meeting, Saturday, April 5th, 2025, 9 a.m. Daylight savings time. Host, Shonto chapter, location, Shonto chapter, meeting agenda. What do we have? This is a hybrid meeting. We have the information on it. I don't know. 1 is meeting call to order. 2, roll call. The Naatsis'aan chapter, Oljato chapter, Shonto community governance, and Ts'ah chapter of president, vice president, or secretary treasurer, or grazing committee. We'll go into 3, invocation. 4, election of new NOS officers. A, president. B, vice president. C, secretary. Although there's a motion and a vote, 5, a review without the agenda. The agenda. 6, approval of last meeting minutes. A, January 18, 2024, regular quarterly meeting. B, February 8th, 2024, special meeting. 7, reports, government leadership. Says, please email written report to NOS secretary, 10 minutes for us. So, A, Mr. Boo Nigran, Dr. Boo Nigran, Navajo Nation president. B, Mrs. Sheriff, Rochelle Montoya, Navajo Nation vice president. C, Miss Crystal Lynn Curley, 25th Navajo Nation Council speaker. D, Mr. Herman Daniels Jr., 25th Navajo Nation Council Delegate. E, Ms. Furmanali, Navajo County District 1 Supervisor. F, Ms. Judy Begay, Coconino County District 4 Supervisor. G, Robert Black Jr., LDA to Herman Daniels Jr., Navajo Nation Council. 8, reports NOST Regional Chapter President. I like A, Naatsis'aan Chapter President. B, Oljato Chapter President. C, Shonto Community Governance President. D, Ts'ah Chapter President. 9, presentation / presenters. 10 minute spots. One is NOST Region 8 ARPA updates, DCD and CPMB, ASC and DCD representative. 2, rule addressing and NGA E911 update NOST region SDR representative. 10, resolution and action items. One, resolution number NOST 2025-095-001 to be determined. I don't know that. Number 2, the resolution NOST 2025-095-002 to be determined. 11, next NOST Regional Council meeting, Saturday, July 5th, 2025, hosted by Ts'ah chapter 12, announcements. A, NOST meetings. Saturday, April 5th, 2025, Shonto Community Governance. Saturday, July 5th, Ts'ah chapter. Saturday, October 5th, 2025, Naatsis'aan chapter 13, adjournment. There's an agenda to the record. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you for that there, Mr. President. But that meeting, the agenda has been read into the record. Any additions, changes? The only change I would say is probably number 6, A and number 6A and B.
Chair.
2025.
Can you add me to reports under 8? The 8 presenters. I don't know where I'll fall into. It has to do with grazing or land.
Okay. We can do E.
Yeah.
And Shonto. Raising.
Both. Under the District 2 chair too. So.
District 2. What's that? District 2 chair.
Mhm.
Okay. So 8E is now District 2 chair. Provide. Any other additions? One more is going to be resolution number 1 to be determined. We are going to do a reaffirming resolution to support the proposed Navajo Mountain to Oljato Road project to enhance school and public safety and transportation and to empower economic development within the region. So we're just reaffirming the resolution that we passed last year. Okay.
Oh,
Any other questions, comments, concerns?
Resolution 1 or 2.
That's going to be resolution number 1 right now. Do we have any other additions to resolutions?
On the resolution number that you gave us for reaffirming?
Yeah.
Queen,
Resolution number is 2025-095-001.
095,
095-001.
okay. Oh, no,
But the
the
last.
one that we're reaffirming,
Oh, the other one, that one's gonna be 2024-195-001.
okay.
Okay. All right, that, no other comments, questions, or additions? Call for the vote. All those in favor, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Marcia, how you doing?
In favor?
Okay. Sina,
Yes.
thank you. Dorita? Willis?
In favor.
Okay, thank you. Nine in favor. Oppose. Abstain. 1. Okay, moving on. Approval of last meeting, it's January 18th, 2025 quarterly meeting. And February 8th, 2025, special meeting that we hosted earlier this year.
Chair, I'd like the motion to approve and adopt the meeting minutes for the last two meetings.
Okay, Robert motion, second.
I'll second.
Roland. All right, with that motion and the second to accept the last two meeting minutes. All those in favor? Raise your hand. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. Seven, Marcia. Thomasina, how do you vote?
No, yes. In favor.
Okay. Thank you. Goose.
In favor.
9. Rita, how do you vote? Okay, with that, 9 in favor, 0 opposed. Abstaining. Abstention. Okay, both the meeting minutes have been Robert and second by Roland will vote in favor for opposed with 1 abstaining. Moving on down to reports. Government leadership, 10 minutes, Dr. Nygren. Second call, Dr. Bootnight. And third call, Dr. Nygren. First
T.O.
motion, second here is Michelle Montoya. Second call, Michelle Montoya, GP. Third call, Michelle GP. Moving on down to speaker, Crystalline Curley. Second call, Kristen Curley. And third call. Moving on down to D, Herman Daniels, Council Delegate. Second call.
Joy. How about that? Yeah, but Mr. Chair. Yeah, but congratulations. Kudo ni kita happy me kudo. Mr. Chair, Mr. Curley, Celia, Adam Dapato Shata, Vice Chair, Vice President. Aranana Kudo Shamayad, she's on the line as well, but on the Secretary Treasurer. That NOST region, not only could he happy me, I say, yeah, kudo she could measure. I guess that is not kudo. And you could Ayona the short there. Kudo them chair, vice chair, secretary treasurer. Ayona on the short there. They call us, yes, you know that's a call. They yana grade January 2027. A big page net or that's called the 2015 nomination council as a determined dash. So, of course, the same the business and relay. Down as none of him can Yanada these NATO 2027 only the Nana Hedger. Could he, yeah, a year of other vehicle. So, but we can do a lot within over a year. So, it he just go as you hit that these in Chicago. I don't know, but on the data emails, I don't know. I should have it now. Because nada these is going to source code over gonna be just like today, put on a great a road project, for the data source, but now reaffirming the status on to Oljato road project in a way that I see here, or I see here, or the lots of thing, but could here, Nana could head on the could I don't know what is not on a shenigi, I think I can could Naatsis'aan ko just not on it had long ho. I don't know better than God. Staff as the English ho. I don't was jet go to do what staff had a lot of I don't know not on it. Chapter officials, grazing official data had that at all that. A later I don't know a shot ho. You know, I see it not on it, not shenigi. I don't know better than that. Though I see he had got on the radar last term. I see he got in with the as a chapter president. I think a great grazing official. I yell now, so the grazing official. With the Hachi Yosh Khan there, which I see all Ashna Chahan Heko. You're on call 24/7 out of grazing officials. You know, I don't know that I be kin so. You know, I think I can. She's not on in sending it on a staff, sending it. That I need to have this vehicle. I don't know which way that in the call. The call we see could a bad news in the Shiki. So it he done news. The name bad a yet live Hati Tao. So how Zan the Donna closure after that so them sad so that never yet here. Couldn't has take back, but they by yet. So idiot or cat nana could I don't know could I see could a non machine that yeah, being a star, I don't know what I did. I seen the way down. How what the such a hot eggy. I yell now, non Mr. Husband, was family matters that makes it what they the way that I can snan. I yell it now. Hold she's a cook into ayat and nana ayat and not pleasure. It's not this stage. So I see can't get the best we get sort of some that they can actually I see can't the data education and education that's not done what it also that so I see that it can't get the best so the way they figure out able to do it. I see it can't go. I yell at the or did what Lena just in it but it's not much how it made there. I see that it's each case, yeah, it's each case in it, but according to that, she came that year, but that be started as a cutting that. So, what echo, it is a shutting thousand or that could I don't know, could do a cutting cage at Dago. But then now she I see that you can hear that the not dot either. I call a better thing that is shoot and the Saho. I don't know how they know it cannot a gear store.
they is that it's get that cation it. But actually that never not should not be later. It's so what it needs. And wake up pay it with skate cation that. Pay as a dash, safety cation. I did hitting Chicago. See, then again, that's in Chicago. The car high nation that know that I Nana should date that and lay that. And not can we beat any kite hop. Can hear jet down. I don't know could a Jonathan could only get that song. I don't think he that Ts'ah and then she could I think he that so there. I think what it recordation. I think he that's Ts'ah store. I see that the horse say what there, what how the train had learned about the horse say what there. Connovation under what and the I see horse say what you. I what horse say what. Connovation should have an out and correct for the bar. For the sheet of the bar. Or that's what there. That's all she would out there. I see the whole year on some. Oh, yes. That but could on rate even the national could on rate them. Even nationally could rate that's a hot Sunday. Now we get here. We got Resource and Development Committee meeting. College that a on rate native lands insurance. A generate them dal now. It is city so it could a could on rate almost that in some. As they know a committee day and hello. As that 20 though. Recognize the Texas stuff. It would be nice if the RDC, if they invite other delegates to show up to Texas stuff. I don't know. But the Texas stuff, you could on a day have not been in the outdoors and the show. There are navigating committee and there is so native land insurance. He had a report about so he had a she not so yeah, so it's about see but why is it to be kidding here? You say that native land insurance, Donana Department of Agriculture. In NDA, he has a way down. This Jim here is so he has a lot of stuff. A big kid, but the way that she has under the way that NOST region. District 2 and District 8. I see something about those need to raising officials, district raising officials. I don't know ranchers and Linigi. Something about those snowing at Abbey, the Ts'ah Seagull. Asian Nalipado, I think so. Again, the Chicago. Asian could on the data District 2 grazing committee meeting. The thing Asian could on the bus, so that's the door, let it go. I think had actually the cocoa. Oh, United Kid Art has under the way that it's what I'm the people drought insurance at Niliki. Oh, United Kid. I don't know the way that Department of Ag, I just talk with the projects. Projects, Yashaban, earthen dams, that they don't know windmills, that they what the projects to keep. Yes, I saw him get it now. So Asian Lake District 2 grazing committee meeting, I don't that District 8 district grazing committee meeting. Seems up the whole auto let it go. Quite on the ranchers that litigate ranchers meaning grazing permit holders, yeah. Asian Asia. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't know believe the Haloniki. So I don't know the farming. But I get the Haloniki. Or you don't get the Halon. Though in the course, they get the Halon. Or you have the best ones in national course as any game in New Mexico as they don't get long Halon. Yahada, quit and has under. Now get the Halon there. The Naatsis'aan, I don't know, a big kid. I don't know, not a gardens, the Halon that tell. Or that table that is up on that or everything need a hole. So Asian when that was let it go. Asian could on the radar, should not Asian could on the radar, district raising committee meeting members and litigate. Asian as you get so set up those meetings. Sin flyers fin that nas na go le go. Si do nas son de shot sign go e na de kid go le. I sin ka na has sort le go. Hey lady see na de kid me. E is an ka de station so. Na right down. Kudo Law and Order Committee meeting. And this Law and Order Committee. That. There's Health, Education, and Human Services Committee, Budget and Finance Committee, Resources and Development Committee. Every week now, I can hit the Law and Order Committee in a oversight in a judicial branch on a public safety that you go on a slab that they take. Again, have a young about it. Okay, when's that before? So, with all the great a month as if public hearing by me, case a cocoa, a city, public hearing by me, Chief Justice. Now, shots about it, or less that's it. The never not it the extension of the Katati car. According to what you let how this was the skis of how to cramp. I don't know what you lay. I don't is so element. I think that's then how this in a way that when I missed this. I don't know what the next I don't know the way that I'll be cheated. But just some I could eat glitter the house get away and a few times. I don't know the day's quarter, not only Nan's shipwrecks. I don't know public hearing days, yeah. I don't know this week, yeah, the day down. Wednesday, I thought an hour, she's in a great option. An hour, she rain. Thursday, that opinion. I don't know, Donnie Bill can't when he's long Law and Order Committee members need clinic. I lot day could only get doctor in has 10 men clinic. I don't say or written comments they would laugh for a shame for the oh you that's the call. Yan said Kissy on the Chief Justice not the Shiki. A call. You see, that's a lot of it's like a very cases again and a very backlog cases again. It hasn't a call. But I don't know, there's others. I can watch it as a call. Even then, I know I'm sure that I'm not, I see that I know that's zero. But could on the date that April 11th, in a day that hold Sunday, a final hearing is met on it. So spent on how the legislation change be likely to let on it. Oh, that's actually put a vote is net on it. I'm the president who is net on it. Tajabhan has now has now a president who is net on it. Is a president as a that no here in the data law order committee. They had the final authority now let call. A president of the house and get to be a president in the council to on the full council is a call. So April 11th in a way that when the rock a public hearing not a net or there's a call. A Navajo Nation Bar Association that Asian could have out of the house in Asia. So a hotel $20,000 call. Adonana could on a way that Law and Order Committee, our next meeting, Ts'ah, Mexican hands on the agenda. A could on a way to have a joint meeting with the Resources and Development Committee. A joint meeting that the Naatsis'aan could hold era hold Jesus called cut in that it got on the agenda. Once at the hold the circle. A could on the way but Yagi Ts'ah. Oh, that Craigie, you see, could do the way that art has under. Did our 1,000 there, see, and it's what called diverse count. According to very clear, no certain litigate. Is now what the call the picture God as well on this is oh, you in that is how I don't know what that on this Kagita. Actually, on a clear now what I don't know that can be actually now asbestos. ko yi lang ho cha de oi da ba ya te da ho me ge din I build it as on the na kid that on us so the ero de yi lang ho cha ko I don't know there's used to be a soda factory ero de ero da yi na cha ko I don't know there used to be a clinic ero de kaya I'm not setting that it is a call you the Canada is kind of question submit a question to get that ADG. It's very unsafe. I don't know uranium tailings. They have to go a Yanak, a gravel because of the either the North Nation or probably been here we are back to go electrical. I don't know if I don't rate that easy with the net. It's not able. It is easy to do. I'm the cats and again a cocoa on the bay down. Hanago, just on the other side of the San Juan River, which is about 1.5 miles. That's the boundary. But magical there's stores like out in 7-Eleven actually, yeah. In Shell, it used to be Shell, like 7-Eleven either. The red London down me, every day, yeah, the house Yosh Canada. Actually, no second renegade. I'm a kid, I'm renegade. The Jason get there, that's not the gave a put it down. Should I was only a swan, especially in the cheetah area. Feed the we are there, it was a go. So, a national on Shanigi, but dog. Magade, or jet cord, not on Shanigi. Is in a benefit of his metal, let's put up the date, the time, the place again. I don't know, we had also how playing it as well. I see the way that Manama Valley welcome Senate machine. As I played on the call. I don't know that's watching, we're gonna tour the Alchitra. Has and again along the way, I'm gonna stop. I'm thinking about stopping at Gum Hill. So Gum Hill, they did not RDC Law and Order Committee. They did not each bit. I call the Gum Hill. Gum Hill is on Highway 63. A cook in the great sheen at a hotel. The great on a line, renegade and great tours at Kinja on this major highway. I called at Kinja at Kinja should say I don't know, just a bit of knowledge jail. With that team, I don't put it on your team. But I yelled all the what I actually have to slow it down. Sometimes you actually have to stop you. So yes, one I thought there's 2 or 3 fatalities right now where without they're called. So the AD they innovate state of Utah, the great legislators and Ziniki, they charged and what they did. A cocoa sometimes how she innovate Utah, just I let all this cocoa to make that place a safer place. The great come here. So I don't know if I don't agree Shonto Hotel. It's not got a I think it's all about the same on our zen. Oh, yes, but I doubt the Ts'ah. I doubt the Ts'ah. Don't know if I don't she could that is category is net or there's a compact public hearing April 9th, international April 9th. Came to township. In a way Navajo Nation Division Economic Development. Could on a great business like leasing authority.
Well, they're proposing to revoke Shonto's business site leasing. They're asking for a preliminary. They asked for a preliminary here. They asked for a hearing, and that's the hearing, public hearing on August 9th. I mean April 9th. So it's a public hearing.
A call age for the Shonto. Could on as not planning litigate on a staff and litigate. I see national what either. I see national. Go on for the Kodola, originate about the Gaggy state of Planida. Other vessels in a covenant, Shanto, Ayamasiva, ADV. I should not have state of the public hearing. I see the Bensi, Zon Ebiga, but RDC, It isn't a reason. Delegate Tracy Ellen Johnson, the delegate, Arthur Soda, that Eggy delegate Mazda. Could I see a change so you can't answer. So it's in Adivide seat on April 9th, public hearing. I don't know, April 17th. Nevada, Benedict Nevada enter chapter President Boo Nigran Navajo, the Chico. I don't know, Nevada, Kim Agua. Yan Vay or J toward it had a lot of the Chico. A cook on a gay. Dali had 3.5 million check. Presented daily and that to the Navajo Nation Gouldings. Basically, area mayo in the 3.5 million. A Navajo Nation presented daily. He done President Migrant whole day needed. I see any time now, John the letters not have a bench as the 1-on-1 in a cat. I see his house in eyes in happy national lady. The snow of a jazz, the dash on a wheel, which he has scheduled lie down. Could you don't John Dollar with that? You got a day yard of the home. Later they have either, could you don't John Dollar got Shonto and has again, especially in the age. Yeah, now take what they're Naatsis'aan. Or usually now take what that team. We are there's we are team. And there's a cat and again. Yeah, now take what that. I out the N.O.S.T so for it. So it with that April 17th. I don't know resolution. It's reaffirming the project road project, a proposed road project. Well, J2 to us on the Conagate, Shane solid with another day, but lately, three trips at sea like delegate Shandy Parish, should have got another Disney. I see I have to stay home. In Shashan, they not have the snake so 3 or 4 times she's been up there. So has some Hayan has made for other. I fish caught without there. So the late at the Utah tribal leaders meeting, not clear for the call. I'm gonna ask for the same resolution from them as well. The 8 tribes as make up the next Utah tribal leaders meeting is going to be at Vernal, Utah. But they Utah Division of Indian Affairs, they're still working on the agenda. Date or time or location, so 80 of that. I don't know. Basically, is starting off with that. Speaking, could I see here? That's a silly. Could on a very legislation could on a very behind for Haley for was a crown point say I don't know that fraction minute. Could have changed so could that he is the 4 million. Could about that Babala as labor speaking for senior center. But 4 million is not a lot of money. We probably need additional dollars to build a senior center. What they call. I actually hate I don't know difficult. I don't know if it Shonto was in the cat in the game. Studio signing in the game. As I thought, so I call. That painful. She could on the date, I believe. She meeting 7 money. She has a shit about these other. I don't know what Oljato chapter. That is it. Oh, it's just not. Oljato chapter house project. President Ness, see. At the same time, amendment stuff. 13.8 million acres on the Shonto Government Residence Complex. Equal 13.8 million. But the last lane at the same time. Amendment stuff working with Calvin Sosi at that time. 6.6 million equal to Bees without amendment again for Oljato Chapter House project. They last clean council, you last clean, I don't know, President Nez at that time. Chanada, they last clean, so these are some of the dollars. That is leaky. Is he could do the rate that I see. Not what at all, not what at all. Start working on these projects. Good up. So we can. Senior Center, Oljato Chapter House project out on the Shonto Governance Complex. So be the business and the base of the national would be the delegate Daniels. Oh, you basically that in the President Nezata over $20 million. That's it. No, yeah. Handy, that's it. I don't eat that. That's sure that need that. Actually, need that need that. But even now, so the best I don't want that. What the best was that she basically you now so recruiting me. Put it back in the pot. That it makes up there. So even so, I see what I not sort of station for you. It was about this case of what I don't know what it is. Not she with I see what I said like yes, but don't go fly your snap but it's all Sunday. I don't know what you could eat night the kids show it off. Malay that's a canal get a whole Michigan. Hashing what $8 hashing what $8 President Trump could eat. Or you orders I initially and for Bernie Sanders as you got in a gate of Utah out of the shot and saw Bernie Sanders. He didn't get the news that's on there. But Kaho, they shot and saw support on behalf of the Navajo Nation. He was in a cat in the Bangladesh shot and so. What's this case? I said that this morning. But there's a lot of questions pertaining to his committee oversight issue. Like a been done, it's my night, this kid. Background check that out. I don't know, the rate of Dodie, that they don't have that or unite the kid at all. Maybe our next meeting, the representatives on litigate like for his committee. Maybe that you'll get the Helena Nesbitt invite that these men get out those men. RDC, maybe Delegate Otto So or Casey Ellen Johnson, Aja, the Budget Finance Committee, Shashanti, invite the dignity, getting out those men. I had delegates in get that as Aja, because the Kinder of the class and the Shabbat and RDC. Email machine, Ilya, and it's given some native land insurance and report of stuff. So Julian and Veda committees, different days of meeting that and down. Because Karim Monday is one of the days or smaller. His committee, RDC, law workers. We have our meetings on Mondays, same time. Yeah. You have Zoom shit on me. I just this day. I don't know that listening that the summer change has changed what $8. Hopefully we get some rain. A lot of singing. I see the horse say hope. So cool. Don't read them. Get it the latest not on the radar last time. I'll take the chapter meeting down about saying that horse say what she and I guess the door lessons on that point G cards in here. Go quick gave up. So the end of the radar. Other last one dark card radar can I get it. Even that you put on you don't get on that case, it's not a seen radar. Or J told that. So that every year in the case of that. I don't know 2026. It's fun. After 2026, she hates it on the coach. Basically, she had it not eat at all. How does she that? For him, on it, and he tourism. Could have changed so and I like what they think. And we have sort of I can't eat all the beans in the hole. because even as you put on a day down, this case of goodies now, national basically are made relation song. They are from what's that? I mean, for 5 months, 5 months, the day down hospitality, 5 months rent, they allow 3.5 million, I know what the day down. So 12 months, she hate it on that. 7-8 million dollars in song, but this case of home. So you go in each case of the hotel. So it is that Ecuador Shanant, the year Ecuador down. I don't measure in that case. I don't quite labor in that case. But not the Asians and all. So I know Selena or that in email that what Asian not on that case. The whole cost. So that I don't know, it towards out Ecuador, the version now. At such a whole cost. But I thought, yes, yes, it's a whole. I used to like come here that instead of me. And sort of better my data. I know that got a Western agency. Told Putin that one thing he hot and about the way that the way that you that that the thing I say, it should have been that the next spin of it in. Actually, go on that dance about this case of all. So we have a kind of a later now. I get. Okay, that don't get on there. That is clear. So it is. Thank you. Mr. Chair.
Yeah, Harrison, thank you for that report. Questions, comments for Council?
Sure.
Please.
Where you got the next week?
The 17th.
Oh, 17th. Unless I thought you. I was here.
Hold on, find where it is.
Yeah. Okay, moving on. Burn McNally. Second call. Third call. Judy Gay. Second call. Third call. Robert Black. LDA.
Chair, the vice chair and secretary. Hopefully people can hear me on the speaker. So. Can you hear Marcia? I can't hear. No, not easy. Okay, well, I don't really have very much to add to Delegate Daniels' report. Only to have the officials and I guess the grazing committee officers and I guess in our farm board or ranchers and farmers who have permits that we will be promulgating or distributing information on the presentation by Jesse Jim and Brittany Begay. So, and I think there are we have ranchers and farmers that are seeking information, and then a lot of them are not really aware because they don't usually have resources to attend to these meetings and whatever is provided by the nation to inform our people. So idea issued the National N.O.S.T. The only other one is some of the individual assignments that the chapter officials give to me. So idea so yeah, the shot. So chair.
Thank you. Questions? The LDA. Okay. Thank you for the report. National chapter president reports. Naatsis'aan. Second call. And the third call. Oljato was
morning. Hello. Nice. Count the idols of association. Very dynamic narrow. Hello. Yeah, very other than honest, and it open national. I don't further reporting that. I don't know. Council last. I don't wife I am to John Yat and not letting. Without how she showed there. I can't know how you. I don't know yet at all. On this case, no. I don't. 现在自己的 turn expert，到现在要得说，看你接到的做掉，到你的new official 上，并会给 NOST chapter，因为这都是你这是要你的当然leadership 的事情，要先做一个 projects。On the other side, investment additions or wildlife projects or farmlands, housing restriction areas, scholarships, seniors. It's about that. It's about that. They want to see, I don't think so. N.O.S.T. in Danish. I want that still hard to the wildlife we achieve that big chair. Although not investment addition of that decision. Although Joe, the very same kind of what Peggy Burns out of it. They had a China, in Hash that of Shinny Donny. I continue to not that's a zine or 6 by 8 or so. 6 by 8 of my tire of his job. Every night, the content would only start at all. In fact, it's very it hard of the job the quick one side so that that's part of it. And then the part would have been to own that out of the world, but the Shimbado, lost what our case. I know a lot of the projects with the she don't know, but I see just something. I don't know the DJs in the parliament to use for that. I don't know. Dana said, no, there's not a great see. I don't know the draft sense the car. That should hold there. Can that I think we allow the car. So I let out in fact. 10 engagement. Other on that guys that other the other ones are casing now very nice. I don't know. It's how in the kind of meeting hall. Although 12th it was an agency. Although the 13th or 8th of every chat and 10 o'clock. Although that's although if we settle, is one minute boy, it's not what so. It's not it, it's not later, water rights later. Let's go ahead at 12 plus and then yeah, I think it is really working. That's other really. I just saw it was your 12 plus on the one valve plus. I don't know the pipe farms. As you pipe kid out say, no, you have it. Couldn't actually do what they had the yoke kid on. According 10 o'clock at the place on the welcome center toward the business at home. The way the pipe farms there, they can't they just stay there. She can't, they also can have people. So, although May 8th, the annual internal health system culture celebration is there. Other than that, you have the fishing club, you guys are riding fishing club. If the other council there, yeah, not those, so. You don't, they would, I don't know, Bennett, I can't, I know. I don't know how to say it is the last that. They just got up to she did when I'm with the snow. The next up the people that have concerns there. Jay, the next up the family plot. Jay, the next up the grace. هذا عشان السعودية أتلانتا هذا بناء كشوفه هي هذا الدين ده الخصوص هذا عندي وتستعمل أخو دي كوي نبغى أنا بسيط كوي يعني يبقى بلاص نيمو كوي يبقى بلاص نيمو قلنا هذه لا أخو دي لا هذه نكيد هذه تخدم بس بجد ده إيش نيمو إذا هذه and they got a hold me, you don't know. Other way the group of she they are administration she go they it's super she go classes and go so small canyon. Not small canyon, and they and it's just chilly. Just chilly. Every class is snake. Although and that no coordinate so such a change in not such a change. Guarda, non è quella la sosa che ci invece in casa. Poi io sta, allora io se ci c'è una sosa, che è anche per mi ha detto ci chieda. Another response any did that burial or that but no hashish you know what's the hashish another that no I can talk. I just rushed it in. I got kind of like stuck in the middle. It's oh, okay. I didn't know, and I didn't know. Let's something hard to be. Yeah, because by artists, you know, beyond that, I haven't done it, but they did. They had and did that. They created the very yeah. On the way that the night, I should as on it nada. You don't need Naatsis'aan or on the John. But these are some of the questions that we have in Kinka chapter level. Hey there with that. Although the Maryland Yaz is very international. I think that at that point is for this is okay. Okay, very kind of your yes.
أنا النظم كي يحدث الشيء.
I saw a report of it.
Questions, comments?
So, just for clarification, so the faith base, which is church, and then the traditional base, basically, their dispute is
I guess in the Navajo legend, these guys are brothers there.
oh,
His brothers is Ash. Navajo now, I haven't left. She did it. Nako they so nakeda those no pressure. Nako have a tie. Nako they could have one. Other could eat the nana side, the brother had one. I don't know where it or something. Nako could have tie. They could defense or could live way away from his house, could never gonna see the so I let in here for India, and he doesn't break it, just shout out. So now, yeah, I let out. He like a wasn't it? A class in units was immediately. We should always try to think better than this and never not. And then I don't have the requisite not to close my board name. I should die kid of my board and should out Asian did. 我在那个时候在等等那个玩，有的我他阿没来，说，对对对，在往这边，现在还是弄好，哎是，
Oh, comment. Yeah, this one, I don't know if you got an email through the chat. From, I believe it's from RDC. They, create a letter consent form, my dad signed, family plot. They totally got it, something that she showed up quick. Create that shit, Shonto, we haven't started anything. Cool. What I heard from my, Jesse Jim though, from, the NDA, they said, RDC Kiname Kado, they're gonna amend the policy on burial, any burial. Because, and I looked at the form, it's like, I think what they want to know is how many family plots we have in the cemetery yet. Because I think that's what it is, they want to, almost like feedback back to where that thing came from. So I might enjoy that. I'm still doing consent forms though for the burial family plots. That requires for GPS though. Most of the time, family plot like okay, there's a permittee. I think he could use the last thing. So it's been kind of real easy to do.
yeah,
I don't know about I don't know if that happened. Maybe something similar happened, but Beverly thank God. So the only ones from Jason John. So I believe most chapters are behind in community cemeteries. Although it wasn't controlled from the beginning. It was a slacks, and I think Shonto area, there's like I think it was over 50 this year. Cemeteries, family plots. According to Robert Daisy, that mortuary. They don't GPS the Aja. That's good information. You probably can get the information from him. Hey, Chair, thank you. Oh, yeah, another thing is, still Sami Bank, not all item that team. Being no Hayos Kata, so this is burial, the agent of Tadani Fitlo, or any agent. So anything that's not to go, other, or it's little army. Actually, we'll see how where our council delegates are. They have the, what they want to me and the year, I think. But I think it'll depend. They had church, thank you.
Chair, thank you. Maybe Shinada can, if he's aware of it, the question, the RDC pushing to waive the burial of our Navajo family members for Hashimoto, waive those measures so that we can do away with the bat law that's in place right now. No? Do you know if that was approved or not, or if that happens, good? If we kind of putting the process to withdraw acreage to, I guess, allocate the 50, like in this case, 50 plots to be recognized as cemeteries. Each Sunday, how did they because just because when we buried my dad, Days low. But but I haven't started yet. But yeah, it's a way the do seven escalate I need to the caterers, but he can't know shit on a just certain conditions of the Helen other Sean Casey Johnson wavy with out of soul providing comments saying that he supports it.
So narrator, Nash audited narrator. RDC, they're the final authority. Yeah, let's take it. Wavy, like temporary waiver will expire on June 30th, 2025. A lot of claim that's a day, yeah. I don't know what the data. Oh, yeah, passada hello. He has made a best one, yeah. Best one. And yeah, passada hello. So even that, separate on the RDC. And father, God, we have all that. But that's it, Sini don't depend on the DT. I doubt vote for Canada that it and yeah, say and the press release that. So I'm assuming that it's better how they have. But later maybe Casey Johnson that I don't cut it for next meeting.
I couldn't understand your query. Please clarify your question and say hey Otter before responding.
So it I was no no I don't know couldn't wait I very family plots. Do had asked to that you go. As I said, all family plot that need, but they're not withdrawn. And then a whole behind that. Ben dat deal is not that ben dat deal is last order. Dat ben la share or they dat ben la door less. Die dat na de zit goed die jaren ben dat deal is en al na de steeds het op aan haar je dan. So I did family plots dan in dat toch dat so dat. I see maybe
Hello, how can
yeah, department I see him that all so na beta I don't know na beta glad ajuda. Yeah, thank you.
If you want the plot where it's, you pay $500. And keep your family plot on the national, only your family will be there. As long as you pay $500, that's, you maintain it, fence it in, and so other than that, if you don't, it becomes public, anybody can be very there. Other than that, if you want your own family plot, then you pay $500. But was that ever put in place?
I know that they have various regulations. They really send that. Probably have to go back. They want sleepy. Regulations. They're not sleepy.
So we need to really be firm about it. It's just talking about we were at first thing. Quite sorry, it's 32. Something. It's right here, I mean, you need to start to control us. We need to be very firm about some issues that are popping up. Offense, a thing going on. So maybe if we be confirmed about controlling it by paying, I don't know, it was $500 a year. I don't know. I just heard before that was before I got into the chapter business. So this came up, bringing it up to bring that awareness upon us as leaders that we need to really go by and then re-admit it and reintroduce to them what they did not make us angry They kata, other that some that will end up creation, nature. So we need to go back and bring those facts. They would not forget it to make aware the community that the responsibility is up to them because it's a land issue. And it goes back into livestock, the livestock area. It's just escalating from there. Almost like this, and then we're just elevating things that when we don't set and be firm about it. So. So.
Sure. I did. I think, for example, RDC, they don't have the direct communication with Bivlin, or even the chapters, even though oversight on things. A lot of these local issues, they're not hearing them. But they all legislators that they're not home and not just, and they're legislating, creating all these amendments and then but they don't really talk to the people you see that affects them. And overall, I think Navajo nationwide should include cases like similar to Oljato. So I mean, there's no communication. We haven't heard from the artist chair equivalent of oversight.
Place another job at a week that is in nearby.
So I haven't heard anything.
Place another job at a week that is in.
January, February, March, April, 4 months. I haven't heard her say that congratulations becoming a veteran, but then that's all agencies or even districts that occasionally that congratulations I need them, there's no communication overall.
So how do we go back to them and say that what is RDC?
Resource Development Committee.
Okay, so that the resource committee, where Mr. Delegate, where do they take part of our lives if it's not being directly from these guys that have the job the reason the director of the meeting. They're stuck because we're meeting all these people, the population is saying our population is growing and a lot of things are happening. Accidents and the fidelity of it is right on the rise too. And then it comes back, the homeland. They don't get buried out there, they bring it back over here. So where do we meet them? And if it's on RDC, they're heading that's I bet these guys are doing their protocols, but they're stuck with it. They don't have nothing to back them up with. Documents that that maybe it plays a time. But these guys are stuck. Where do we go? Because remember, some of them are outsmarted with a lot of stuff. But we don't have the backup and we need to get that backup in place. Like I said, the population is growing, a lot of home sites are going up. I don't want the sign, various sites are on the rise.
Yeah.
I mean, this is for the future. I don't need to be disrespectful for stuff that. I mean, we all have opportunity tomorrow. We don't know. We don't know what our life is tomorrow. So basically, and not so pushing our loved ones. And yet, I think that to make it more clear and understanding, so we don't have to speak like what he's going through. Speak a lot of people. So are you seeking to really communicate with other locals? Maybe you could have that.
Related that to my city, related in Woodlawn, as legislators, there's money going it's money going alongside these regulations, burial regulations, like that. There's no enforcement. I see four people on this. Local leaders, I think, manage to have so what I'm gonna do is do a request to RDC to come up here and come out here. I see that there's not option. Like the on-site lease burial that maybe I have and that's for actually showing the condition. It's good that we're having this meeting today. Assignment, it's been that's not shaking the daughter. No, request to receive to come up or have them to come up here to intervene or especially that maybe that's like a king that is being made and the hotel. Also, she, so not she, it's mother. Which happens. Unfairly, but I guess. You go.
So let's go back to the, and the RIS 2025 is still on my mind. I mean, I previously never went to, land use. The land tourism, is that their responsibility too?
Anything that makes the land, the air, the water, so economic development, community development.
Yeah.
That's maybe.
Like business development, everything.
There are Title II, RDC. If you can go to Title II, look up resource development, their responsibility, their job descriptions in there. Yeah. Navajo Nation Code, Title II. Go ahead. Go ahead. One last one.
The first Sunday of the month, and then the planning meeting. Although the second Sunday of the month, and then the regular chapel. That's our schedule.
Okay.
For the year.
First Sunday of the month, planning, then the regular chapter. Second object. Okay.
300. That's not it. They created now very the one that is non to not 6 hours. I did not come down. You can know it's in that it's a cricket. That was that didn't know. I read that. It on Monday, so it even Henry to be the the nation board recommended. Yeah, and then the number of everything. I don't $300 here. 17. I do that. I don't know. Or home services.
I'm working on it. This week you need to carry your shit. So I'm trying to find a date where I can go out there. Although at the same time, I got several names. I'm gonna find out where you live, and there's permittee. It'll spouse in the start on the no, so permittee the limit, that's all I need to know to write the name on the home site we settle.
هذا كل إيش جاي
Yeah, all I need is the permittee, their names and permit numbers. Then I can start the process.
Because there's some people that are asking me, although narrate and back and straight that.
So,
Just a great then the stock so as you kind of
so
they begin going through the okay. Oh, no, yeah, don't be it.
I have to be over there.
Oh, you got to look at the
So I
side.
have to look at it.
Chair, can I raise a point of order? I
Go
think
ahead.
this scheduling of this particular event should be done at a different time. I think we're just here for reports.
Okay, thank you. Recognize point of order. Okay, moving on. Shonto Community Governance. Madam President, you have the floor.
Hey, thank you. President Curley, Vice President Small Canyon, and Secretary Treasurer Miss Tracy, thank you for taking the time to, I guess, accept our nomination and serving as our officers for the NOST region. And also for everyone that is attending this meeting. Thank you for sacrificing your Saturday. I just wanted to do one main report, which is probably foremost on a lot of people's mind due to social media. So Shonto has a hearing scheduled with with RDC and DED on Wednesday, April 9th, 2025. I believe it begins at 10 o'clock. The issue stems from Tony Perry wanting to do a lease on the nation's behalf with Medallion. So in that sense, he kind of overstepped his DED's boundaries, which allows Shonto to have their own business site leasing authority. So the main violation, I guess, that is against Shonto is that we don't have a business manager or a business management office. And our counter to that is that we don't have that many leases to be managed. And although we do have a manager, she does wear two hats. She's the chapter manager and also the business manager. And she has to physically move from one office to the other. There is an office. So that's been an area of contention. That's probably going to be the main topic that DED is going to bring forth at the hearing with RDC. And a lot of it is just politically motivated, I would assume, because DED has done things the way they want to do things for a number of years, and it's a sort of a new forte for them to allow chapters to start generating their own income. And that is not to say that DED has been good at generating income for the nation. It's been the opposite. They've allowed the operators to prosper in a lot of cases, non-natives, which resulted in a lot of dollars going off the reservation in the past and still continues now. So Shonto is working with DOJ to come up with an operating management lease, which hopefully turns the tide and allows other chapters to start doing something similar in the future. So those are just a few things that is on Shonto's list currently this week. We do also have our day-to-day operations One of those is the project with TBK involving the senior center that Mr. Daniels mentioned, or Delegate Daniels. The other is, I guess we're looking at doing a strategic session with Zafikin and in December. We'd like to move forward with that. I think it's important that we start looking at things regionally. In our case, it would be Shonto and Zafikin, because we are 2 certified chapters. It would be a little bit more difficult to involve the Navajo Mountain and Oljato just because of the oversight being from the nation. There's a lot of those decisions that cannot be made locally. It would have to be made centrally. And that kind of throws a wrench into planning, but that's not to leave Oljato and Navajo Mountain out. If you have anything to present, maybe that'd be something that we can work toward. So that is just a couple of things that we have, we're looking at, and also noted that the 13.8 million for the government service complex is hopefully staying within our bank, so to speak. I know the nation has it, but we are working towards trying to get the dollars into Shonto's bank account. There are some snags, most of which I think again is also politically motivated. So there are some things, there are some I's to be dotted and T's to be crossed, but it seems like it's just going round and round. A lot of it is rested upon missing documents which have been turned in previously. So it's just ensuring that everything is there. And I think we haven't really followed up with DCD to see the progression of things. So that is my report on that. I don't know if you have any questions, but I'm going to turn the floor back over to Mr. Curley.
Okay. Questions, Shonto? Comments? Hearing none. Thank you for your report. Hey, Zafikin chapter president. The only report that I have is that here we went to the Res conference in Las Vegas, and we had a really good turnout. We met with a lot of contractors, a lot of individuals to assist us with a lot of these contracts, and also for projected projects that we want to complete here in the Zafikin region. Not only that, we also have also foresight, possibly having that partnership with Shonto chapter and wanting to collaborate and do a lot more stuff together. Not only that, we're also looking ahead as far as the road, introducing solution at our chapter meeting to request for the BIA number Route 16 to be repaved and possibly widened. The reason being is because when we have Oljato and Navajo, we're going to have an influx of tourists, travelers, and whatnot wanting to bypass, going to Kianta or whatnot, and we're wanting to make it to where it's going to be efficient for them to pass. Right now, it's kind of deteriorating in some areas, and we're wanting to get that sort of at least planned ahead to where that road does open up and it's reconstructed and repaved. Because I'm tell you right now, if it was me as a tourist and I want to go ahead and go to Monmouth Valley and I want to go to the edge, drive all the way to Kianta, come around, go to the shortest route. So that's something for me that I want to at least start to get our leaders today as far as understanding those things and looking ahead into that. And Our warehouse is progressively moving forward. We have completed the foundation portion of it as far as making sure that the ground is good to go. The septic tank is put in place. The propane tank is on order and should be put in place here shortly. And then we have rebars and everything else. The foundation portion is going to be getting ready to be poured hopefully in the next couple weeks. And then from that point on, it's just erecting the building. All the materials are at Ts'ah right now, and we are projected to be completed by September end of the month for erecting the building. We're also working on getting community lagoon. We met with OEH at Tuba City and we're talking to them about that, possibly doing a community lagoon out towards the upper inscription house, but we're also doing, we were going to be hosting a public meeting or public hearing or a public forum in the next couple of weeks to go ahead and discuss the possible locations for those sewer lagoons, the community sewer lagoons. I guess back in the 1990s, early 90s, there was a proposal out there to have community lagoons for all 60 something plus homes on the upper inscription house to be connected to community lagoon. But we had one family member who canked the whole project, and so they went ahead and had replaced all the septic tanks for all their communities. But now it is, the cost has gone up for septic tank cleaning. Now our local vendors $1,000 for that. So that causes a lot of issues and hindrance for our community members who are on fixed incomes, being that, you know, inflation has gone up, everything else has gone up because the last administration. What did she say? Anyways, but without a doubt, you know, inflation has gone up, everything else has gone up. And, you know, it really puts a hindrance on a lot of our elderly, our new workforce people who are barely getting out there. You know, they're on steady income, something. We have to try to focus on in making sure that we can give services that is to alleviate some of that pressure from them. So the want to do the community lagoons, 3 other locations down in Lower Inscription House, near towards the IT area, and then planning on doing our own septic stuff, and that's something that we're wanting to do as a chapter. We're still working hand in hand with trying to get a public safety building. A lot of discussions with a couple other entities to possibly get some grant funding and all that in place to prepare for the to do a public safety building. Being that the Navajo Nation is taking a while, I'm trying to get with federal partners and then also county officials as well. One thing we wanted to do is we're wanting to get a police substation out there along with the fire department. In the last meeting, Ts'ah is the central place between Page, Kaibito or Kieta and Tuba City for an hour way in each direction. This place here has, we've received millions of tourists coming on 98 and 160. And we don't have a fire truck. Wanted to get a fire truck. So currently working with Oakland County to see if we can start our own regional fire station, all volunteer type fire station out here. And that's gonna be the one to where we respond to the communities within Tsapikin, Shonto, Tanbea, Kaibito areas and whatnot. What else? Senior Center, we're still working on gathering more information on that. The reason the $4.1 million that was passed a while back, we're now coming back down to where it's possibly not enough. And then now we're also having discussions of where Shonto's wanting to get their maybe their own senior center and also Tapikin. So we're trying to figure out what we can do as far as maybe centralizing the senior centers or going back to the Navajo Nation government to see if we can get more funding to do all that. And then on top of that, you have the deteriorating budget from the Navajo Nation. So trying to figure out how we're going to make sure that that ensures that the project or that program stays in place here for the community members here in Tapikin or in Shonto. And so those discussions will be coming up here in the next few weeks or so. The resignation for Miss Littleman kind of threw a wrench in a lot of these things because we were supposed to have a meeting last week and that didn't happen. Or yesterday, and that didn't happen because she resigned. But other than that, still working on getting the community governance building over there at the Inscription House Crossroads area, and NDOT is planning on doing a maintenance yard. So we've done 3 possible locations throughout the community in Tapikin. One right by the Crossroads store, just north of that. Then one over there by the vending area south of that, and one over by the clinic. Across the clinic, right? That little gravel pit area. Those 3 locations, and then still working on the transfer station as well. And then also in the process of submitted a proposal to get 22 illegal dumping sites cleaned up. Throughout the entire gatherings and trying to get rule addressing done, we've counted at least 22 illegal dumping sites. So we're wanting to get those cleaned up and working with EPA as well, with Navajo Nation. And also the rule addressing for Inscription House has now been completed. And we are on track to get all of that stuff inputted into Google. So we'll be able to have physical addresses out there in Inscription House within the next couple of months. And then we'll have our signages done. That's where we'll be able to employ our SYEP to install those signs. So we've addressed 489 homes or addressable structures. Inscription House. 489 homes. 489 structures. So that's homes, buildings, sheds. So,
Congratulations on that.
that is my report. Questions?
Chair,
Go ahead.
I just want to say congratulations on your accomplishment on rule addressing.
Thank you.
I mean, most chapters are still struggling with it. It's pretty good. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you.
On the rule address, we can't. We can't Congratulations, Archie. You can offer. Archie Mitchell. Oh, congratulations, Shashni. The Blue Knight. Oljato är Utah. Spines all their homes that curves on the Arizona side, right?
Yeah.
It's ain't that really bad. They have Shonto, they have no amount of Utah, especially for the guy. I think here. Other questions, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't see oh, the senior center. Yeah, I mean, it's little that she resigned. She was not additional. This got to Shirley Young, the division director. That's it. So I had awesome. Oh yeah, that Oljato Senior Center back. And I think about it. So I'll be the same. At that time. Steve. The way the tradition is Heather Duncan.
Marcia.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yep.
You had mentioned something about cleanups. Is that the business sites that you're talking about, or just overall in general?
That one is just gonna be for the illegal dumping sites for inscription house, so that's just all where everybody has been dumping their trash and whatnot, and so a grant or a grant proposal was submitted to EPA and a couple other nonprofits.
Okay.
So hopefully we'll get awarded to get that to where we get to clean up these 22 sites.
Okay. Can I add to that? I am working with Kansas State University to bring brownfield training to Shonto. Want to extend an invitation to the NOST region chapters. Brownfield is any, I guess, area that has been used but hasn't been cleaned up. So our concentration for Shonto is going to be the business site lease areas like Black Mesa, some sites that were drawn by BIA over time, and a few other ones. And this will be a Brownfield 101, and it'll be in July. So I'll probably send a flyer out here in the next couple of weeks. You would need to pre-register just to determine how many people would be attending, and again, it has to do with feeding everyone as well. So just FYI.
Thank you, Sean. Priscilla?
I don't know. Let's see. They take for a week. Need to go and do trash. The section. It was a mistake of April or something like that.
Okay.
Involve the community in with our, you know, the first day is in April.
Let's see that week.
Well, I don't know, not sharing, yeah, so I know on the reports, wonderful and not sharing that. Now that, the way, can't just, hospital, yeah. So, مشيت الشابتر ده سين قال سيدو سان بعدها يعني يوكي يعني على تعزى هناك صح بس كورونا لأنه إنه عليك إيلن صالح And this is a question for you, Karen.
Yeah. Với last attack meeting, for last country or 2 months ago, I did a report. How the report shot. We go to read that when such case, I'm going to read that seniors with treatment with health care. We get that. Still something now couple of sex kids, Shonto or Oljato, because they had a clinic. It's like a clinic. What a great level. It's really exciting to read that. Generally, I quite interested in that. There's a quickly, other numbers, other stuff, that authorization, learning more, facing table, looking at some shape, fast, messaging, created a later analogy, capturing toward capturing energy comes on the house function. I'm really the very due to my valley. There's a key. There's a contract. There's a she's talking about the area. If there's some 7 months of key, if you don't get a key, shape that up. But it is a later. She's been if we had a partner that may be able to make it amongst the key. I know that sounds in the song process of the proposed projects of the thank you.
Here we're trying to figure out what we're wanting. We've also had plans of possibly putting a little senior care center over there. But the thing is, we're under Chiantia, and we're trying to. They wanted to go 638, but that didn't happen, and so we're trying to figure out if we can go with Tuba since they're 638. I think that's still in the plans in the works.
Is that for the ambulatory care?
For sort of like a nursing home type deal, and then
Oh, okay.
yeah.
All right.
But as far as like ambulatory care and whatnot, we're wanting to do a couple like the one interesting fact was when we went to Flagstaff a while back, there was a lady out there who had stated that she had like she's like a chiropractor and she does this type of cares, and she was saying that it'd be nice to have some office space to rent either around here. So then that way she can have her clients and go to that location and they can do all that instead of having to travel 2 hours away to get their care. That's what we're looking into those things, but that's when we need the commerce center to be built.
Yeah, that was one thing that was we had mentioned for Shonto's portion as well, looking for a alternative form of care for those that have insurance or hybrid. I did talk to Tuba City TCR or HHC's board, and what they told me is that you need to get with Kayenta Service Unit to make sure that they're okay with relinquishing part of their service area. I guess it's a big deal in some sense, but I don't think it's that big of a deal as they make it sound. So that was one of the things that we are looking into as well, because we do have a large number of seniors that live in the Shonto area. Granted that a lot of them are not registered in any seniors center capacity, but our CHR has been serving them for the last few years, and the population is only growing. So we're blessed in that sense, but also we are lacking in the services that is needed for them to age gracefully. So I think that's where we were also looking at daycare centers. Of course, if you have a nursing home or daycare center, you have to have a clinic or hospital nearby that can serve the patients in those facilities. So that's the extent of what we know, and I'm looking at that as something that Shonto would be pursuing soon when we get more of our information together.
And fire services, and police services, and EMS. Law and Order Committee can put us back on the list.
Great. So, Chair.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Thank you, Chair. Talking about 638, that boundary, the service area. I think it wouldn't hurt to proceed with that. See if the Tuba City Regional Health can move their borderline here. Right now, it may go somewhere like Tonalea, or was it this right here? And then it goes over.
yeah.
Kaibatuja.
Oh,
And then I say it then the money don't need it, it's just a bad trade somewhere. 638, they're what do you call it? They're growing hospital now they get there. Maybe by then we should have a choice between building almost nursing home and could just sorry.
yeah.
Sure. Point of order. So, yeah, I guess first thing is we have similar needs between the two chapters here. Oljato has got the separate region with Navajo, but maybe we can. I don't know. Just for throwing it out there, I guess to possibly look at a large language to locate the common need that we have, senior, the NOST, the public safety, transfer, and put them in one area. Between here or shop at someone.
It's gonna be all over there.
Gas station, wash,
Yeah, that's that's what.
yeah. So that way, we use this one withdrawal, and our focus is to fund that one place, and we're not having two things running at the same time. And then just make it a regional governmental.
Then the cost sharing.
Regional cost, because then you have two counties. So
yeah.
You have two counties, and you have two chapters, and then and it's primarily real high volume tourist ground.
Yes.
And I think maybe there's something that we can look at where those people type of people. And then to get used to that. I mean, but how you done? I think it's not really an issue of where I'm at. I mean, you know where it's at. So other side, I'm trying to about that here. I don't know, page for governmental services. Okay, we'll go ahead and we make it in one place, and then we feed it whatever resources that we have from all the available resources that we have. So I understand. I think if we make it large enough, then it's another growth center. And that's competing with Pancho and Kayenta and Chile, which would draw them to here too. And I think that's the overall picture of employment and I guess bottom line servicing our people who need it. So I don't want to I guess just the daycare and these stuff. It's kind of tricky, that's all. I think one of the things I heard on both that The 638, they got a better chance of not being cut. Right. All the other BIA or BIE offices, even our Kent Grand Mountain and Casey Francisco might be out the window, or they're already exited. I think, I mean, to some extent. But the 638 are a little bit easier to hang on to, based on what Mark Sorensen told me. Mark Sorensen is the guy that brought the Star School right outside of Flagstaff. Yeah. He used to be really involved in the creation of the grant system for beer from the school. He was one of the main persons way back in the early or late 80s on push the grant idea so that a lot of schools went there. So as a subsequent to that, they can have hospitals going 6 years.
Get my drink.
And then, and then, I think
One line, that's fine.
in light of
I'm gonna get a straw. Thank you.
in light of how the two city facilities doing the thing, they expanded.
Sorry, I'm gonna cut again here.
Hey, Marshall, can you mute yourself real quick? But those topics that you're talking about, me and Marshall, we had already talked about possibly adding all that stuff into a strategic session.
Oh,
So we're going to talk about all those things and lay out the future 3, 5, 10-year plans for what we were wanting to do is like the NOST reach. Basically figure out how we can do that. We were all even talking about even doing as far as like our own nonprofit entity, maybe like how SCDC has you guys have your own thing.
the for profit.
But being able to utilize them as our pushers to get these projects done. So like, we have a mutual agreement between the chapters to utilize that entity for project management, for all these other stuff that we need, because like I've already stated a long time ago, is Navajo Nation, they can't get these things done. And that's why I said Beacon, we're pushing to do the project ourselves because we're certified and we can do all that stuff, and we proved it that we can do it. So those are in the process, and those are in the talks. So we're trying to get something like that going. Other than that, yeah, that's what I got.
One more, the agriculture thing.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a big old complex there. Places where people go.
Okay. Oh yeah. That's my end of my report. We'll go on to presentations. ARPA updates. I did invite DCD, ASC, yeah. Rule addressing. I did invite them as well. And I think they're attending another meeting, is what they said.
Who's doing the rule addressing from Bluff?
The rule addressing there's this project called the rule addressing and next generation 911. It's a project that the Department of Public Safety is taking on, and what their task was is two items here is to address all 110 chapters. So those that have already funding for rule addressing, they're just gonna go ahead and like double check them and then see if they're USPS compliant to make sure that that stuff is integrated into that system. And then we'll just go ahead and push that forward, and then they'll be able to publish it through Google. So the process of that is to gather all the addressable structures throughout the Navajo Nation, combine it and consolidate it into one database. The next generation 911 system, which is the 911. So when you dial 911, that goes straight to the Navajo Nation Dispatch Center. So what with that project, they're consolidating all 7 district dispatchers, and they're putting them into 2 locations, Kayenta and Chippewa. You have a Western and an Eastern. What they're gonna do is they're gonna go ahead and have all the 911 calls that come in throughout the Navajo Nation, where within the boundaries of the Navajo Nation, you'll be able to call and you'll be able to call one of those dispatch centers. And then with that addresses that's been populated, that will be used to determine your closest location on where services are gonna be provided. So that's where they're at.
So, who's in charge of that?
Now,
And, I know that the Bluff, the one in Bluff, they're working on it. But they did the Utah side, and they wouldn't do the Arizona side, but they have gone to. So I was wondering who's in charge.
No.
Are they different ones or the same?
I think that was a different one, but that one's in Bluff. This one is on the Navajo Nation side, and so the one that's in charge of it is the Department of Public Safety, and that would be Leonard. I think his name was Leonard Red Horse. Yeah.
Do you have his number in the email?
I can find it and I'll forward it over to you. But he's subcontract. He has that project under another program called MTM. And then they're the ones who are pushing. So SDR, which was the one on here, is the one that's doing the rule addressing portion. Okay. So.
Right.
Okay, moving on. Resolutions. I will go ahead and read the resolution into the record.
Before you go.
Go ahead. Oh, yes. My son, hey. Ah. District 2 grazing chair.
Thank you, Chair. No point of order. My report, first of all, thank you, Chair. Naatsis'aan Secretary. Although Kadori report, my report is coming from District 2 Grazing Committee. Kind of like overall, but the other two grazing committee reporting like and my own. So District 2 Grazing Committee, chairperson, that she's done. Western Agency Grazing Committee, chair that she's done. So we kind of have an overall picture of what's going on. Because the next meeting is April 8th, ATVK at 10 o'clock out of Bedlam, the District 2 meeting. On April 10th, a Western Agency Grazing Committee out of Cyber. The city BIA resource, natural resource, conference room on the BIA. That'll be 10 o'clock now. Although in PLA, they haven't set up the meeting date yet. I've been delegated to Tonalia chapter Ajit Kadamashwo as a grazing committee. So I've been doing home site leases out of family plots, the Ajit Shinanish. I requested for the resolution from NNDA for feral horse roundup. 8,000. So pat yourself on the back if you have that resolution for your chapter. So so talking about feral horses at the Western Agency level, I know within the 18 chapters, feral horses, what I'm hearing. So it's been a while since when I was first Bevman, I was in between. خشيت طبعا but oh you see the long like when you're driving along tunnel highway 160 pound thing or you so in indeed they provide their services either they can assist on payment if they have the resolution in place or they'll put in their requests. I don't know their report is to General Assembly and did Bevan and so one of them is Ts'ah under the Ben livestock, I should say. There's several reports, all District 2 level, though the Western Agency, the whole 18 chapters of it. Although federal horse population, though it increased since no oils, polls. Although the next one is Chidabiskan or Chidadat Shongi. Oh, yeah, the residential homes of Poland. It can have a ceremony, but not the so that's one of our big concerns that this item is gonna the other Jesse Jim. I was talking with her that the agency chairs the so we can talk about things, our common issues again. All the 5 agencies, Navajo nationwide. A big kid. So maybe within around June, that's in Jumbo, when people when they settle in, so we can have that meeting and put that to have it put that in her budget. At a location, Winter Rock, maybe in that they have a real nice conference room, but maybe she can schedule it there. So just one of these would go there, do junk vehicles. I think it affects the community members, though, non chapters, though. Immediate Shataya house, illegal dumping. It's another big issue. There's nothing being done about it. And it's good to hear that TBK is doing something about it. I don't know. Chita earlier, Honorable Daniels, not enough enforcement rangers. Because those enforcement rangers, they're trained in environmental, say like endangered species, all that. Say if someone's grading the road, then they're the ones that should get involved. I don't know, if there's any someone filling around with them, then you will call them. Family cemeteries are early about that. That's one of the hot topics now. Although it's RDC is still amending their cemeteries, their regulations. And that's a scholarship. We'll probably hear from them again. Although the other one is grazing permit, I thought transfer that beyond it. They're still sitting at the BIA. So in the okay. And today the Hajala Dano. Chitashi Ayana. So the grazing permit, I thought really should have done that. I don't know. I think one of the biggest one is Title III. The compensation is written in law. So we can't get a raise or anything. It's kind of like a fixed budget for RDC or official. The budget goes back in, so We need to amend Title III, compensation. So that'll be one of the topics at agency level that he called. That'll be one of the items. Although there's other great bombs all the trying to keep them as something with padlocks. That's one of the other issues that we always hear about it, Bevan, but yeah. No, the most recent one, I think this has to do with the upper level, maybe shot nation to nation. This one will be between Navajo Nation and Paiute. Naatsis'aan on the Utah side before you get to the high school. Kwetzek is in Holga. Just below there, Paiute Reservation Hut, so we didn't know about it.
Yeah, it's in the news.
Yeah, so it's I don't but they see that's something that the council doesn't do. I'm sorry, Shada. You know what? This memo, they got memos and all that. It comes like several months later. It's like telling somebody driving down the road, then you get a memo on your cell phone saying, "Oh, by the way, I took out your brakes." Yeah, I took out the main brake, so be careful. That's how the memo works. Cool. This Paiute, see if we can set up a meeting and I know it affects Navajo Mountain chapter, or NOST chapter, NOST regional area. Because Paiutes, they can claim land wherever they want to. So it can affect any one of the chapters, NOST chapters. So far, Gap, though, Navajo Mountain, and they're looking at Hot Springs too. And the thing about it is, Naatsis'aan Bevan, he got with the DOJ, and he was told that you still need to write home site leases for them. But then you're often Navajo Nation. you don't have authority in the site, but we're told to do the home site lease. That's for NTUA power lines, any infrastructure going into the Bevan, Paiute Bayotson. No offense if you're Bayotson, but so that's what he's dealing with. As chair, I'm involved with that too. So we need to set up some meetings. That way, at least an update from upper legislators. Not the water line project. So earlier, but I think it was the last NOST meeting, and surveys being done on the survey on the Shonto, north of Shonto, on the state line, Arizona Utah state line. That was LY3. On the Utah side, LY7. So I have most of the consent forms to collect each stuff. Then I have to go through them again. And some of the grazing permits, they're in probate. ate it up, it filter out that. Oh, what I need to do is say that consent form permittee, they're deceased. So ate up some yeah, I'll be done with that. I don't know. That earlier, this kid home site, this Oljato. I try to use that like locations, to invest in those. So, like, Ghana, a young bit told me. So, that is savage. I make it. I just on the. So Hojet told it that there's 5 names I received. I need to go out there and try to do that like in 1 day or 2 days. I think it's going to take me maybe 2 or 3 trips as it. So fishing, I have some names on here. Maybe I'll get with you after the meeting. That concludes my presentation, Chair.
Yeah. Questions, comments for District 2 grading? What?
Yeah, but Mr. Chair, the this should keep don't have a very full committee. But there was but don't get chance on it. A lot of the chance we can't go on the federal basis. Unable to. I'm sure it was all very good and that nation. Unable to innovate, she do the way you be content that secure song.
Former grazing official from Oljato. Again. For the record, Benedict Daniels. February 10th now. They got a 2025. 77 heads. Feral horses check in on the way down narrow canyon though. Issue the Hajabet banana tree that law. I know you they call the corrupt. Nagada Nabakiat. Nagada native lands insurance and report the Lada. Maybe it's not mentioned the Shlado. Yeah, the Chinalo. Feral horses only in that conditional. I nailed there. I want an answer. I told them she came in that. I don't say who and let it on the snow. I think it doesn't matter. The hot air that children know. Get no like I said for the English. The day young was singing with the air. It's been not safe for that. So Robert Nagi, what area is safe for that who are like. I wrote the snow and I'm geared to committee that meeting. Camel that's the flash out that he's sunk at snow. Council right camel to the final question. Ola hon vet vad det är där den är nog så svårt så. Jag bara säg håll det så. Så ani hot en gata halita ekoto i sin RDC card that she I see better start this nekoto. Aronan ani hot en gata payuts. Mayot en gata not educated hat any for nandas links schenker. Nekes det där klick. Att creed as a day. As with that day helt bra. Aronan kushi ekole. Da är så att det trashar. National Hutchins Society, Nandas Lila. According to David, Utah tribal leaders needed the unique call. Even if the Hinish, the meditation is the reason that they are. Indeed, lot of negative is the reason. I use them, no, yeah. But therefore, and the other, a call, I have so a 300 acres. 300 acres, but the way that last term,
when I was on RDC, it I could not read that meeting that then I read that the last meeting that we had was 5 years ago. That's that. It and we had a meeting with the Paiute tribe. I don't know when around it last week. Of a dancing now with the Kato Naatsis'aan, Naatsis'aan in Lenigi, the Hippies, at over here down the Noto, made the adults that. Because the great news we had each other, Banan, the Lao. So the great and the other Navajo Nation, so it could not get them, through Navajo Nation power line, it a water line. Because it a change so it could not get them. Until it is changed to that able to own etc. That we can able to our line about that water line about that also the cocoa I think or equal to Papato Sekoto. I don't know. I know that there was a treaty of 2000. I think that on the Congress, state Congress, last day, but she met. Ako that the show you papa na ito to kisa ko na way RDC I see the na kaya hato sito na kaya basta ko deal na ko dita pearl horses to down and ajo na has aniki na way pai na atas ajo has aniki ako he na ho mount up di niya but na way ka payon sa pai mount di niya ako I see that no I see ajo na kaya pai mount no get no there's Paiute Canyon, there's Paiute Mesa down there. But yes, I can eat area and later I can make coffee. I don't know a mountain, and that's just not the tree. But later, I can understand she had that on need for the snow to have seen. She says, I'm willing to work with you. Some Paiute Mesa, Paiute tribes. What I'm to have seen. But I just know that I just not seen that president is. Because on the Shoshian or neatly did so I'm that's the deed that the Shadin need a whole. So it is that I don't know. I think you yet here. I don't have to get out any that glass now, yeah. But I guess on the case, you know, the house now. I was like on it, that's what I was finishing with them. شنت حل هذا وجد وضع شنت حل أو وضع إيش يجوته شغلت هجو كيش عندك شيء إذا تودي لو تأخذه بس كيسو قتيلة فإذا هذا إيش يكون غيدا I see كده نغيدا شكل كده RDC لكو أويا هذا شيء ده كده RDC they have their meetings إيش كده ده كده I see كده حل نده Craig in a great time. Last 2 weeks ago, when I was in Flagstaff, I had a shot at Manuel Ricos, that sexy. Did you know that RDC are having their leadership meeting over years ago? No, the Texas sheet, the hard and seen that hospitals on it. No, I don't want to deal but I have one abandoned mines on abandoned AML. I don't know. EPA Region 9 on these abandoned mines, uranium mines. They I don't already see how they because I have a lot of uranium and abandoned mines in Monument Valley in that area, in my region, but it's not so I think other committees are not I see, yeah, they إذا يقدر نريد RDC شيء كده عايز يبقى بس عم تيجي نهكو أو شيء هيا نهضو بس كنا بدنا نشتغل ده إذا شيء ده busy شيء ده بس كذا شيء عايز تهلون بدأ عايز تهلون قاعد squeezing the logic.
Oh, you know, the ask chair, this is chair. We're talking here, talking to Jim to see if he can, with that roundup, wanting to do wanting to see if he have the ability as a chapter to take those feral horses and maybe even sell it, auction it, or do something with it as a chapter. Because with the funds that we could get from that could go into our agricultural fund. So we can provide hay, grain, and all those types of things for our committees. So is that something that we can do on our end? If you can ask the EIA reps that's something that we're wanting to do as a chapter. Whereas we go ahead and collect those feral horses. And our committees can take them, or the grazing official can take them and sell it on behalf of the chapter. And then that money gets put back into our agriculture fund to help the permittees. Is that something that we can do?
Thank you for the question. Ts'ah. You know, I don't think anybody else, I mean, Congress like that, give it back to the state down there. That might be the most, that might be the best way to approach it rather than having Navajo Nation. But then the enforcement part, I think it still will work. Because ranger, when you do Rama, once the Navajo Nation Ranger says this is Ts'ah, then nobody touches it. Then it belongs to Navajo Nation. But the part where I think you might have a little bit of issues. Say you get the horses out of maybe with their ranger's blessing, then say I don't think that would happen. Navajo Nation probably just sees them by that. Then it would have the overall say so. But I think maybe some council level laws, changing the laws, we got some laws, and so that can happen.
So thank you. So how does that differ from anybody that does that? Because I know something that they do their own roundup and they take it and what they get is theirs. So what's the difference between one individual and as a community?
Well,
he takes it, it's his, but community, we can't do that. So what's the difference between those two?
let me go back to fences in the. Well, what you need to do is establish ownership. Ownership of the horse. Because your permittee had they can brand it, but you're limited on your grazer permit. Now, anything that's not branded on Navajo Nation belongs to Navajo Nation. That's where the cattle rustling. That's what I found out through that cattle rustling. And I heard that before. Say like if there's an unbranded livestock, then nobody lit off. It's Navajo Nation. Finds of Navajo Nation. Then it's Navajo Nations.
presentation. The fencing to go to the somehow we are clinics. Can you not just I should need some very cheap on that shit. I don't believe things. I don't know the skin had it that or spiritual essentially now like that. Canada from the States. As not, being on is not as you 4 o'clock on the 6 o'clock, I got children on the channel. Of course, I got children, so bây giờ thế mình đã đến cái Maryland that.
Well, that was, that's the right of way fence. If it's inside the right of way fence, it's not really our jurisdiction. It's already withdrawn the fencing.
The defense in the other all the way, yeah. There's Redland View hasn't.
Oh, yeah, I didn't open it. Yeah.
Okay, not yet, yeah. I think what is that?
Rainbow. I mean, it's hard to say, that highway still has a right, if it's still, even though it doesn't have a fence.
Okay, but we'll take to the way that state line to San Juan River resolution 係啦，係啦，實施嗰度就係佢出嚟嗰度就係送嘅。而家你即係 state 嘅理財係幾大？是好多送送嘅，可是係 right away 啦，係open range 其實係最緊要嘅，應該係佢都 schedule 嘅事情啦。非常非常感謝我們大家分享的是，我們是拿的是，和 A 的路線的一個，因為他們在講現在是很大的 business， 因為是一點點聽，但是我是很那麼多的微博，一年不到4年左右的被生了，所以也是一個多的微博。Compensation we gave we about see that during the budget and not the head the perspective was that increasing the strike and going on at mileage at least mileage we put down the contribution song. But we'll do it the next budget model in 2026 again. So that's coming up we go so we have the budget model. So I see that national security that I think that because data basically I see that for the car the national and data now that because the data check exposure now the data that's a copy so that actually just but in the area from budget certainly I see that data FY 2026 again. We should have starting on some people find this case of the horses on budget. Well, yes, spaces.
Make one more last comment, but I'm gonna go ahead and write a resolution to see if we can do that as us as a chapter. So see if you guys, as the council, can maybe introduce amendments to have it to where the chapter can take possession of those.
If I can add on a little bit, I think there needs to be like a mechanism in place for chapters to supplement the grazing officer. So that way, they can't just say, hey, it has to come from here because you can't do it. If the chapter has the assets or revenues or resources available, it should be able to also budget that in their chapter budgets to supplement the position. It could be so there can be a mechanism that can be the budget restriction. So we have to have it in use. You said that. Oh, you would have, you need to supplement the big position.
You mentioned jet vehicles. What is your plan on it Take care of that.
Good question. That was in the 90s. Was it President Obama saying jumps to maybe they initiated that. There was maybe there were contractors that came out and they picked up all these junk vehicles for steel. Yeah. I don't know where that came from. So it'll be good if that same thing happens again. So say like your junk vehicle can be like $100 or something. Cash for junk, yeah.
You're planning to do it?
No, we're talking about it.
It's a concern that came.
At the Beverly, the question they mentioned it. So now maybe we can organize something where we can, our oversight, RDC, can this and so.
So we back to hazards, the homing,
Yeah.
rodents, and it comes back to the house.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, thank you for that. District 2 Chair, thank you for the report. Move on down to presentations, which we don't have anybody here. Then we'll go down to resolutions.
We have presenter.
Oh, one presenter.
I had a chair, there was times I go, chair, maybe, I have a concern. Oh, no, I have a concern that you have not eaten yet.
Okay, good concern. Oh, sorry.
Lunch, yeah, stuff at 5 o'clock, if you guys can eat and continue with your meeting, that would be great. Thank you.
Comments, questions?
Recess.
We'll go ahead and I guess we can go ahead and recess for about 10 minutes, gather your food, and then we'll come back. Yeah, come back at 1:12.
Thank you so much. Thank you. We need to know that to be take care of everything. Yeah. Take out.
There's turkey.
Can we just numbers that are not being used without
You know,
chapter say, hey, those are all ours. These are purchased.
you know, so, in the conversation or Senate, they go up in this, then we will take them to without any inspection. I think it reduces the fishing population you've got. I don't know how effective that is.
Turkey and.
Sort of.
There was stage 1 and No, I didn't. Want to. You can- Um, and, that all the present person.
You can. But
Where you go? Huh? Where you go?
we can definitely make that.
Sorry. Actually, one-on-one. In person.
Mr. Curley,
Yes.
I'll call back in before probably like 5 minutes for that time.
Okay, that's fine. Just be back by
All
1:12.
right then. Yeah. Okay then.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh.
Feel weird. Eating too much.
Wait, but I should go. Food.
Alrighty. We'll start when Rita gets back on. Yeah. 45 pounds.
There, there, I saw the Ts'ah. Question of the later on, one guy, Michael Fraser, the South Tower, don't stay hold out. So he's looking at that spot. When he is Chicago, location there, the offer not to punish. Hold on, that's what we tell you. On the very go, but the tower, he goes. Shadow Tower, that's what he goes. The rising up. Or if we got the funding, everything work. Yeah. Yeah, then so, I think it's made that again. I got it. So, I let email leader. Report this in.
You know, those cell towers. If you look at this one up here, meters on the bus. So, what NQA has been doing is they're putting other cell companies, the equipment in Navajo. So they charge these and they're making money off this. So it should be land control. It should be in different cycles. Okay, it's nothing.
But that is the type.
If they're going to make money off it, it should be a business side.
Oh.
By the way, NQA makes money off it. I don't know how much they get money from relaying the signals.
This and upgrade on it.
Hold on.
Okay, what's that?
What's that? Shall I go back?
5G out of dollars. Verizon, yeah.
So
Verizon took over the limits.
hey, I still have my 11G. Was it 3G? What?
3G.
Yeah.
11G, I think one is that.
I'm on.
Yeah, it's the
So no, no.
The resolutions they have. Um, What's the agency, you're gonna do the presidency? Pizza, man. Man. What's the meeting? So like 2, 3 weeks. Check out secretary. Is pay resolution. They were gonna get Priscilla, you have Dorita's number? You have Dorita's number? Can you text her to let her know she can buy back in? Not yet. Just waiting on her. Finish it.
That's possible.
And it's but just Wolfville. It's fun.
What the from there, oye,
Ja, all they do is they have no one. I think, oh, there's uh, oh yeah. Well, for home site, I was saying, this was David's student. Yeah. During autonomy, they have
This is a good one. No, District Eight, I want to tell you. Something. So. Ci tutto and also progetto di film ci va. There's no one like you.
Place another Jabra Speak 710 nearby and press its link button to link them together. Not linked. Jabra Speak 710 nearby.
I heard someone put like beans so I mean to make
Place another Jabra Speak 710 nearby and press its link button to link them together.
But they checked the set out of this one. Who's our buyer? Good on Walmart. I think this one was Washington usually in the NBA, they were able to sell something like 60 or 80% of it you could sell. So that's you know that's 45th so those and break the ice, as you know, gold quality wasn't there. That's it for me. Basically, very so I had tariffs, so penguins then.
Yep. Let's continue on. Let's see here. Where did I put it? NOST. Okay. All right. We're going to go ahead and do number one, resolution number one, NOST 2025-095-001. The heading is going to read reaffirming NOST resolution 2024-195-001, which is in support of the proposed Navajo Mountain to Oljato Road project to enhance school and public safety and transportation and to empower economic development within the region. That's the resolution.
Motion to approve.
Chair,
Robert?
second.
Marcia seconds. Questions, comments, concerns? None.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Has the feasibility studies been conducted on that particular project yet?
Shana, you have a question for that or answer?
So far, feasibility. So that's okay. The reason why asking for this reaffirming resolution, we're still asking for $1 million from Utah, state of Utah. So yeah. So we're gonna keep bugging out the state of Utah for that $1 million. We only need $1 million. We got these operations between the impact studies.
Marcia, does that answer your question?
Thank you.
Okay, any other comments, questions? If none, let's call for the vote. All those in favor, raise your hands. How do you vote? Resolution number one. How do you vote? 8, 9, 8. And Thomasina, how do you vote?
In favor?
9. That's total of 9 in favor. Oppose. Abstain. 1. Resolution NOST -2025-095-001 passes with 9 in favor, 0 opposed, 1 abstain. Resolution number 2. Do we have one? If none, we'll go ahead and continue on. The next NOST Regional Council meeting is Saturday, July 5th, 2025, which is hosted at Topikin Chapter, or again by Shonto at their new hotel. Reserve rooms. We'll have reserved rooms and everything else.
You can spend the night, have breakfast, and
Let Marcia make the motion on that.
She's gonna butcher too. Here you go. Hey. Wow. Moving on.
I won't be at the meeting if I'm drunk.
All right. Announcements. Next NOST meetings. You have Shonto, which is today. Tafikin is July 5th. And then Naatsis'aan, which is October 4th. With that concludes pretty much. Go ahead.
Revelation Council spring session.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna start on April 21st through the 25th. If you don't get back to them. Okay.
No, no vive creo que sea.
No,
The economic summit is also going to be that same week. Okay. Other than that, moving on to motions to adjourn. Okay. Announcements.
Saturday, we have the officially like to get your support to support Dillard to be our president. The days to council. So we need to work on that real quick. And close nominations. Do it right now. So I think there's already other people who are trying to hurt each other. So I've already been approached to support them, said, no, we got our own candidates. So we gave, he's the hard direction. Yeah. They both. What's another?
Yeah. 9 o'clock. Daylight. Okay. There you go. All right. Any other announcements? Nothing? We have a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Robert and Willis. We have a motion, we have a second. All those in favor, raise your hand.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Marcia. Thomasina.
In favor?
Thank you. 8 in favor. Abstain, opposed.
I'm in favor.
9 in favor. 0 opposed, 1 abstention. With that, time is 1:30. 5 p.m. We'll close out this meeting. Thank you guys all for joining. Thank you, Shonto, for providing lunch and hosting us here. And we look forward to a nice groundbreaking or opening day for your hotel. And then immediately right after that, our meeting in your hotel. All right. Thank you guys. You guys all have a wonderful day.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Where's the ribbon cutting?
Right now, I think it all depends on the management agreement approval.